Hello everyone, it's been a while. I will definitely bring the video that I had about that 1948 UK Parliament chat, talking about the hiding of the intentional strategy to hide the British Roman Empire or British Empire from the world, and which soon after happened all the German institutionalization of our world and our re-education. I'll put that back up once I revise it. I still haven't gotten to it. But I just thought I'd take a moment after Harry's Visa theatre and episode to really kind of look at the bigger picture of things again, because you'll see there are situations here where is my stuff? Was it here? Yeah. I mean, this is what you're getting at this point. If you're within the Mexican community, this is just an example. So it's really kind of universally applied, the whole culture of this whole collapse to bring us, by design and by narrative, to bring us to globalize the empire, or to not even globalize, it's already globalized, but to restructure the empire, and to bring us to heal. Now, every aspect of our environment and our system, which is not under our control, which is completely artificial, what you're meant to believe, what you're made to believe, even with our re-education, if you studied any of these aspects, law, economics, social studies, civil matters, what else? Or civics, demographics, legal, politics, and technology. I think I've got everything. That's macro analysis for you if you study business. If you're a business student or had a career in business, and you'd understand macro analysis is your external environmental analysis, and it's usually under pest analysis, which is political, environmental, and economic, social, and technological. But political is also, and you've got legal. Oh, it's PESTLE. Yep, PESTLE at this point, which is added there, legal and the economic or the environmental. So that usually it's there to make you analyze every aspect of a market, every aspect of a sub-environment where you want to enter a business, or maybe you're considering a merger and so forth. And you have to consider all different aspects of the environment. And this is really applicable to our day and age when you're talking about this whole collapse of our civilization. Every single aspect and angle, all of those elements, PESTLE, so political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental, all of them are under threat at this point. But what I want you to consider is that these threats themselves are a psyops and are artificial and by design, and they're intended to make you urgently feel the need to have a savior or a hero and to restructure this system. It's meant to make you feel like there's no hope, like everything around you is complete chaos and gone to absolute shit. Now, I usually point out that it has, but it is intentional. And I think what I find interesting, that reality for me is very, very different to online. And the chaos I feel online and I see online is very, very different to how I feel and how I interact with people every day. No one is like, oh my God, the world's burning around us. Like in where I live and what I do, these conversations hardly ever happen. But online, it's very different because it's very, very steered. And this whole community is steering it. The Harry visa situation is but one example, a very small, petty, pathetic example of the legal system collapsing. And it's not meant to give you justice. It's meant to ensure that you shut the fuck up about the royal family being liable. They're trying to blur the lines enough psychologically that you just don't care. And they want to say, this is an oh well situation, this post by this account that is definitely steering. It's like, you know what, it's not even, of course, acknowledging my work, but it really is using my work, and everyone's acknowledging it at this point and accepting it. But they're saying, you know what, this is okay. This is normalized at this point, and we can accept it. That the whole life of Harry at this point is fake, and the visa will never be shown to you, and that's okay, because you can just choose to insult him personally like a 5-year-old kid, and after 9 years of absolute shit, you're never going to get justice. But that's okay, because no one likes him, and you can just keep insulting him and talk about his wife's waffles, and that's cool. If you've noticed the GB News interview, and that Kinsey Schofield, she's a fucking moron. She's just an absolute pleb, shield-controlled pleb in this community who does what she's instructed to do. She's as equal as Lady C as anyone here that talks absolute shit out of their ass, trying to normalize this and protect the royal family and the British Empire and the monarchy. And what they're doing in these interviews, they're talking about Harry's visa, and he's like, they have a right, like another British woman said, he has a right for privacy. And what matters, what's most important is he didn't lie, because if he did lie, then that would have been not redacted and it would have been shown. But obviously, he's won the court case. There was no court case. There's no visa. And what's funny is this account is admitting that possibly everything's fake, but the visa was real and legitimate. These things psychologically are meant to fuck with you, are meant to keep you down and gaslight you. This is gaslighting. And you're never meant to demand answers, but you're also never meant to blame and make the monarchy liable and the empire liable, and you're not meant to ask any questions. And so this is completely trivialized to the point of retardation, and it keeps you just so brain dead, almost like no beat, no pulse, just getting through it, completely subdued, completely just almost like a burnt out kind of stage where you just don't question anything, and you're cool because you're insulting somebody who actually has control over your life. He is the prince to your monarch, which is hidden from you, and you won't acknowledge it because you're too delusional, and you don't wish to accept it and acknowledge it, and you don't do the work, or you don't follow anyone that does do the work. And you just want to take all the nonsense of green waffles and choose that and insult a guy who literally has control over you and everything that's happened over the numbers of years of late 2020. I won't say what, because that's why my video was taken down last time. That's all done under this one guy and under this whole situation. and you think that you poking at him and talking about his bitch wife's feet, who is in your line of, who's a part of this system that owns you actually owns you as property, and it's a slavery system under debt and tax and birth certificates, that he owns you and she owns you. Even if she's a contract and PR construct, this whole system owns you, and so many people do not admit it, and the whole community is behind it, trying to steer you, to trivialize you to this brain dead status, and you just accepting it. And I can't believe we're at this point. I just can't believe we're at this point, that we're having to accept this, that all of my work is being used to then steer you into absolute stupidity. And I'm almost paralyzed with no logical thought, or no critical thought, or no thought at all. But keep looking at those Netflix shows. That woman in the I keep going back and forth, but that interview with at Great Britain News, she was saying that he has a right to privacy. And then she continues to talk about, they then deflect, blame, she only dislikes Meghan Markle, and they talk about her waffles, and then was that Kinsey Schofield? I don't know. And then they talk about the whole Sussex last name and all that stuff. It's just so stupid. And this is where you're at. And we're talking about social decay and social collapse. This is by design. All of it's by design. Meghan Markle is by design. Harry is by design. Everything is by design. And you've got to see it for what it is. So I want to kind of point out here, I'm going to study the JFK, intelligence agencies, the evolution of the intelligence agencies very soon, just in response to the JFK files. But I just wanted to kind of point out this post here, because I think it's really important just to get some clarity at this point from all the gaslighting and all the stupidity that's around us. Do you find it coincidental almost this entire platform, whether it be YouTube or Twitter, supports the political, social, economic, legal, technological, and environmental collapse narratives on every topic, right on time for the need the need of global restructure of the empire? Everything is by design, and you are a pawn. Think about the AI, think about the geopolitical strategies being played out. Think about, not even that, just the political theatre that's being played out. Anyway, we'll get to it. Oh, and Lennon was an agent, a British agent. Macron's possibly male wife, Zelensky the actor, COVID. Oh, I think I'm sure this is, no, let me go here. Oh yeah, Harry's visa is one small shallow example of the legal collapse narrative. It's not that it's collapsing, it's that it's completely controlled. This is a completely artificial environment. What we've been re-educated to believe, like there's life cycles in economics, there's life cycles, I've already discussed this in business, in everything we do, in evolutions of civilizations, is not true whatsoever. It's all by design. And it's been implemented, and usually it's through, if we're relying on a debt system, on a debt slavery system, then it's going to be through banking policies, isn't it? It's going to be through inflation. But then we've got all the other matters that are happening just to make you feel surrounded, like everything is collapsing all around you. So let's go through these examples. There are no life cycles. We live in an artificial system manipulated by men's choices, or by choices of man. 1929, Black Tuesday descended on the NYSE. This is a quote: "The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn." Alvin Toffler. Prices collapsed amid panic selling and thousands of investors were wiped out as America's Great Depression began. That was the last time we had a collapse or an evolution of civilization, shall we say. Completely by design. That was the last natural, quote-unquote, collapse, quote-unquote. When you see Meghan Markle on a Netflix show, Dylan Mulvaney on Vogue, civil chaos in Britain, political comedy across the Five Eyes, Macron's possibly male wife, Zelensky the actor, COVID criminals being knighted while telling the world we will die because of it, Musk with a chainsaw, Trump talking constant shit, our online world being tracked, home ownership finished by Bank of England inflation that is so controlled they can keep it there in perpetuity if they wanted to. Detach yourself, as this is not reality. It's all a psyop. Reality is the empire needs to restructure, and this is how they do it. You need to be convinced your world has collapsed rather than it being controlled. And this is a thing, the whole weather controls, the reason why they don't care if you know that the climate's a sham, if they can blame whoever for the weather controls, the deep state, whatever the fuck they want to, the strategized enemy that they're going to come up with, China, Ukraine, Russia, Iran, deep state, whatever, if they're going to create this enemy, they don't care, because what it does, it's going to make you feel like your world is collapsing anyway and that you need to be saved from something. And the only way to do that will be the restructure. So they need you to urgently want this and need this for the sake of your own survival. It's a slavery system. So that's really wanted to kind of point out today. Before I get into anything else, as I said, I still need to put that video in. But, I mean, I hope you've woken up to this Megxit community. It's just a shocker. They're now using every revelation I've ever shown you since 2023, acting like it's just a matter-of-fact thing, and hey, forget about it, because it's like, oh well, what can you do? Let's just talk about waffles. It's just the disempowerment, and I think you should be fucking angry that you're being put in this position, and no one, and the toxicity that's unfolding instead and replacing it by these controlled accounts and by this whole steered artificial environment. You've got to see that everything around you is artificial. It's not real. This is very different from real life, as you're very aware. I'm not saying that there aren't real life implications. I've already discussed with you the social decay that we are facing, especially in terms of our economic kind of like job market, because it's got to offset inflation, unemployment, and all this stuff. That's definitely we are facing real life implications, not being able to own a home, the food pricing, etc., etc. But that is by design as well. It's not like it's, a natural life cycle. As I've discussed with you, the artificial housing market in Australia that's gone on, that was actually done by design with the global financial crisis. Everything is a move and a counter move. Everything's a chess game. But you and me are the pawns, and you've got to see it for what it is. And this, believe it or not, Meghan Markle, Harry, all of this shit, the Megxit community is all a part of it. They're not here for you. They're not here for the truth. They're not here to help you, even if they tell you they are. Because if they were, They'd be trying to empower you and educate you, really educate you, not tell you things, not give you propaganda or propaganda and steering, especially political agenda. They would make it apolitical, and it would be about the system at large, and that there was a greater enemy to consider and to look at. Not one of them have done that. And they always try to protect the monarchy. Even if they try to blame them for some stuff, it's the most trivial shit. It's never serious. It's never anything that you can really use, anything that's meaningful, anything with weight, anything with value. You're not meant to have anything by the end of it. You're meant to be completely powerless, uneducated, brainwashed. All you can do is wipe your ass after you go to the toilet and brush your teeth and eat every day, go to work. Yeah. Don't know who you are, don't know what the fuck you're doing, don't know what is going on around you. Hey, but that's okay, because Meghan Markle made green waffles. I mean, I hope at one point people just go, this is fucking weird, and just wake up and see this and go, oh yeah, like I can, it all makes sense if you go, how is this fear-mongering and all of this violence and all of this trauma I'm dealing with over the last couple of years, why is this put into force and aligning with Agenda 2030? Why is this force being applied? Why is Elon Musk talking about Keir Starmer? Why are accounts on here, Australian accounts, talking about Trump coming or us using his policies? There's so many things that don't make any sense and are not natural, and yet they're forced upon you like they're meant to be some sort of organic discourse and discussion. And then people just take it as like a statement or a belief, and they don't even comprehend the belief. They don't even ask any questions. And that's where we're at. My issue is the fact that they don't ask any questions, the fact that they just take whatever's there and go, oh yeah, wow, genius. Oh, you're a really good researcher. You give me political bullshit and I just, wow. Then I pretend it's my opinion. And then I gaslight and attack anyone that makes me feel uncomfortable and poses more serious questions about the system at large. And I don't have any answers, but hey, I wipe my own ass. Congratulations. Congratulations on letting yourself and everyone around you down. So I think we're suffering a massive psychological, torture for the last couple of years, which is a psyop, massive psyops. The whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle, and the whole community is a part of it. Otherwise, there would be answers or a demand for answers, a little more like you have a position or a position of power regarding Harry's visa or anything, You'd be like, oh, fuck this. But no, it's just like, oh, I'm just so disappointed. Oh, well, he's just dislikable, so we get justice in that way. We redefine justice and we reinterpret the truth, and we can live in a delusional world, and that's cool. Make up your own mind and really detach yourself and empower yourself. That's the one thing that I ask of you, is that you start to really empower yourself and know that you don't have to be a part of this. You don't have to be a part of this system, a part of this chaos. I think so much of us have been traumatized by this psyops, and I wanted you to know that you can make a choice now, that you can see this for what it is, and you can just live and enjoy life, because it's not actually real. It may be, the implications, we have to survive them and we have to get past them, but you yourself are unconditional. You are limitless. Your life is limitless. You are yeah, you can be anything, you can do anything. You can just be happy amongst all of this shit around you. And you can choose that for yourself. You can choose to love everyone around you. And you can just be unconditional. That's what I mean by that. You're not affected by all of these collapses around you, because they are artificial. They are not a part of you. You are not defined by that. And if anything, do not accommodate it, and do not allow it to take over your life, because that is also a part of this greater system and a part of this agenda. So that's my meaning for my purpose for this video today. Thanks, guys. Talk soon.